Good day, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the second episode of this choral music series themed towards perfectionism in choral music performances. Last week, we gave a concise introduction to what perfectionism is by defining what perfectionism is, and then we gave and explained two forms of perfectionism that we have. If you have not seen the video, you should see it here now before you watch this one. Today, we will be talking about steps towards perfectionism. Steps towards perfectionism in choral music performances. But before we go, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, share this video with your choir members, your friends, your music directors. Like this video, give it a thumbs up. Today, we will give some steps towards perfectionism. The first step I have here is planning. Now, planning is everything. There is a saying that whoever fails to plan is planning to fail. In choral music performances, planning is key. Now, what are we planning for? First, we are planning for the repertoires to perform. Now, immediately as a music director, immediately you catch a vision for a performance, the first thing you plan for are the repertoires to perform. What songs are you going to be singing? Now, under this, I have the first thing you need to do is to get a theme for that concert. Once a theme is gotten, then you can begin to find songs that will be weaved around that theme. And when you do that, the last thing you need to take into consideration is accompaniment. How do you want the concert to be accompanied? Would you like it to be accompanied with a full orchestra or just piano accompaniments? You need to plan for this early. Most semi-professional choirs and probably amateur choirs do not take this into consideration early enough. You see, it is important to take into consideration the accompaniment for the production, because it's a concert, for God's sake, and it's not just singing and accompaniment goes, they go together hand in hand. So it is very important to plan for the kind of accompaniment you would want to use. Is it an orchestra accompaniment or a piano or an organ accompaniment? Whichever one it is, you need to plan and prepare for them. Look out for whoever is going to accompany. Let them start rehearsing immediately, so that by the time the choir and the accompanist will come together, that's in the case whereby whoever is going to accompany is not a member of your choir. Now, planning also entails looking for the right people to work with, and we call those kind of people crew members. In a production like this, crew members are the people that work round the clock to make the performance or the production a success. So we have the director, the stage manager, the technical director who is in charge of lights and sets and stage decorations. We have the costume director, we have the person in charge of dance, and a whole lot of them. So you need to look for people who have consistently shown that they are of good character. That's the first thing. They must be of good character, and they must be ready to deliver excellence at all times. Also, look for people who are of the same mindset as you. When I say mindset now, I'm talking about mindset of perfectionism. All right, so that when you begin to talk to them, when you begin to rub minds together, they won't feel as if yours is too much. All right, so look for people of like minds, people that you can work with. Now, when you get these people, talk to them, share your vision with them, let them share their own vision with you, and then look for a way to bring all this together to achieve maximum success. Now, once you are able to come together and agree, then let each person begin work. Let them begin to bring ideas that all that all of us can work with. And also, please do not leave them to just do this work so that you will go and sleep. It's not done that way. All right, keep them accountable. Keep them accountable. So old series of meetings with them. These days life is so much easy. Meetings can be held online and on site. So old series of meetings with them individually and also as a group. When you hold meetings with them individually, you get to talk one-on-one, and many things that we're not able to talk about, you were not able to talk about as a group, you talk about it as when you meet them one-on-one. Keep them accountable. Let them tell you what they've done so far and what they hope to achieve, and set a time frame for the achievement of tasks. All right, it is better to set a time frame for the achievement of tasks. Okay, and then also plan for little things, all these little things, little details that matter. Plan for them. Plan for rehearsal venues. Plan for comfortability of your choristers during rehearsals. Plan for stage, where you are going to use stage designs and the rest of them. Okay. Now, another thing is have a rehearsal plan. Now, as a music director or as a choir master, you need to have a breakdown, or what we call a schedule of rehearsal activities. That's the things you will do in each rehearsal at a particular time. So, assuming the rehearsal is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the time must be allotted to different activities of the rehearsal. And also, you need to know what you are going to do in each rehearsal. If you are going to work from one point of a particular song to another point, say from page 2 to page 5 is what we're doing in this rehearsal today, stick to it. Make sure that you work according to the plans that you have provided or that you have made for that particular rehearsal. Then to soloists and choristers, you see, there's a saying that when talent refuses to work hard work beats talent hands down. When talent refuses to work hard work beats talent hands down. Now, this is what I mean. You cannot rely on the general group rehearsals. That way, you cannot be the best among your peers. You have to set a time for yourself, individual rehearsal, where you will have to, take the song again from the beginning to the end and try to rehearse. Know your notes properly. You see, mastery of the notes, breath control, and ad-libs and all these things do not come easily. They come with constant and consistent rehearsal. It is the consistency that breaks the deal. Effective rehearsal is the life of a performer. So set a time apart for yourself to rehearse. Hit those high notes again and again. Sing more. These are the things that enable you to be the best that you can be. Then to choir masters and directors, please do not be that type of director that will come to rehearsal and ask what we'll be doing today. Have a proper plan and follow the plan through. Make sure that you achieve what you have set out to achieve in that particular rehearsal. Finally, before we call it a day today, I'd like to ask you these following questions. As a chorister or as a soloist, do you at any point in time set apart some time for yourself to have a personal rehearsal? If you do, how often do you do it? And are they very effective? And to the music directors and choir masters, do you plan ahead for your rehearsals, or you are the type that gets to rehearsal before you know what to do? Provide your answers to me in the comment section and let this conversation continue there. Thank you for joining me in today's episode. I hope that you have learned one or two things. Now, if this makes sense to you, kindly share it with your choristers, share it with your friends, And please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get notifications once we start a new episode. Thank you very much. See you next week.